All right. I am willing to take a reversal trade if NQ gets to here. Still a pretty tight stop loss. This is the first possible PT, but for the double fake prophecy, I may hold it longer than that. Yeah, I may hold it to the 61.8. We'll see. That's a trade I could hold forever, actually. Yes, his chart on the 15-minute is not very bullish, though. So we'll see if it turns that way. But the way this candle is going, we have lower lows in demand. We have had volume spikes already. We didn't get one on this candle, but lower lows and it's stronger, plus ES reach demand. This is probably a trade I'm going to get into. This candle closes like this, I'm in. I still got to wait 10 more seconds, unfortunately. Well, much worse average than I wanted, but I hopped in. We'll see what happens. Average. Not the average I wanted at all. I wanted it down here, but unfortunately that candle is massive. All right, so this is the first possible PT. Um, I mean, this is a trade that can go very high. So I guess we'll see. It was not a very good first candle. I mean, it very much so bugs me that I had that green candle swept that previous high, but that's still a trade I'm confirmed into. So stop loss can come up a little bit. I can do there. Doesn't matter. Once that most of that green candle's gone, the trade is very much so invalidated. What is up, uh, Nader? That's how you say your name. You're up 40 bucks, Donkey. That is fantastic. Seeing a lot of potential here. A lot of potential. Only if this red candle invalidates, though. The way it's putting in these red candles and fully invalidating after, if that happens again, I'm thinking we go for a run. What do you think, Guru? I'm thinking that's the case. I said these red candles look fantastic if they invalidate. It's looking like a nice short squeeze is going to set up. Only if it gets green candles here, though. This is like the most important part. Two. Yeah, that's where I filled puts as well. I wanted to, dude, because the look at this freaking trend line we had on NQ. This trend line's freaking glorious. As it was going up, I said I'm bearish. Ow, I just gave myself the world's worst paper cut. You gotta be shitting me. Ouch. Anyways, I did even while it was going up, I said that is bearish, but I got triggered into call for that. The hell? Damn. Yeah, except I ended up taking a small like this one I filled here because at that point the cup and handle TA overrode the that trend line TA. Could have been a green trade very easily, but it ended up being a very small red one. Well, it keeps invalidating, but I'm not liking this chopping up right now. Looks like it's trying to put in a rising wedge on the Nasdaq. And for some reason, all these red candles are bigger than ES's red candles, which I don't want to see. Because ES looks like it could be a bear pennant. So the moment, every time it has a green candle looks good, every red candle looks bad. And right now, this looks really bad, actually. If that entire green candle invalidates, I think the bears are going to win it. That's a nice buying wick. This candle will make or break it. No, it is not, Chimkin. I just realized that after I did started the stream, so I'm too lazy to do that. Okay, it looks like NQ's flipping weaker than ES. What a scam. Yeah, I was pretty much in ES from the where did I enter the first candle on market open. Yeah, I think I entered ES calls. I mean SPX calls pretty much immediately. It depends on the day. So like the only times I do it, I'm half size, and I pretty much always get an average gen opportunity. I don't have the data to not do it. Yesterday I lost money because of it. Today I made money. It's like, eh. Most of the time, roughly, I think 75-ish% of the time I make money. But it's only when it's close to a PT and I fill half size. It was looking really good again, and then NQ's trying to put in another massive red candle. I don't know which way this is gonna go, guys. Like if it keeps putting in these red candles, it keeps making higher highs than putting in these red candles, which is bearish. Yeah, this trade's gonna stop out. I think it's gonna get new low of day, then come back up. Weak. Bulls were way too weak. It's actually not a bad short trade right now. I actually kind of like this short trade. You have a lot of good PTs to go, but the one I'd play to is this one. That blue line right there. And it would have to be NQ short because it's a lot weaker. Let's see if it gets there. Perfect. There's your PT hit if you took shorts, but looks like it's going to break demand. That's a big buying wick though, and a volume spike. The only trade I can take is longs if it gets back up to here. I have to get back in. That's a textbook sweep right there. Problem is it bounced so hard already. Doesn't seem like it because just this is only its second candle, but it bounced really far. So I wanted to test this buying wick more before I get in. Getting burned following other people's options plays. Well, you aren't gonna why are you following options plays if you aren't a profitable trader? You cannot make money following someone else's trades if you aren't already profitable. Which drops most people's odds of being profitable just following alerts to zero. If you don't have a profitable mindset, I don't even know why you're following it. We are following alerts, and it's yeah, you could make a little bit of money, but it's really just long-term losses. That last candle could be a long entry. I need to wait one more candle. I don't want to hop in yet, but it did invalidate most of the drop. That is why I did not want to enter yet. I did not know that. Yeah, you cannot make money following alerts long term if you aren't already profitable. There are too many errors to be made. You have a weak mind, right? You're not going to be able to stop out of half your trades. You're not going to be able to take profits on half the trades you're supposed to. There's just too many errors. You can follow the best analysts in the world and you'll still lose money every time, guaranteed. I've had quite a few people make money from my alerts, and they've went for a while. I've had people turn 5 grand into 60 grand in a month and a half following my alerts, but they didn't have a profitable mindset. They were just really good alert followers, and that money went to zero in literally 3 days. 3 days, bad days, went to zero. I've had plenty of people do things like that with my alerts. You can make money with my alerts, but if you don't already have a profitable mindset, you're just going to blow the money on your own. It's not going to work. I promise. I've been doing this way too long to. I've been doing this plenty long enough to know that. That's why my place is just focused on psych. And once you got your psych down in a good mindset and you know how to trade, you're not really following alerts anymore. You're just trading with me. You're taking trades that you agree with, and you have your own stop losses and PTs, and you can honor them. That's why I send so much TA and thoughts in my channel, because you can actually trade with me rather than just wait to see when Bryce is going to enter a trade or take profits or stop loss. It's already there. Oh yeah, no, yeah. I'm thinking about getting in longs once that entire red candle invalidates. It's tough for me though because I want to enter on NQ, but ES seems a bit better. I don't know yet. It looks like ES is actually stronger. I just don't want to enter ES. It hasn't been moving much, like nearly as much as NQ has. How do I determine the strike price? It's just the price that I want to fill my contracts at. So many people ask that question, and it's such like they make it so much deeper than it is. For SPX calls and puts, I'm always trying to trade within $2.50 to $3. And QQQ calls and puts 50 cents to 75 cents usually. Whatever strike price that price is at, that's what I do. It's not that deep. You're day trading 0 days and your longest trade maybe 20 minutes, a strike price doesn't matter. As long as it's not crazy far out of the money or crazy far in the money. It does not matter. Now, if you're swinging long term, then it matters more. But for me, it doesn't matter at all. And no problem, billionaires. I think I may enter. If the next candle opens green, I will. No, it didn't quite. This entire red candle goes away. I don't want to take an earlier entry on it. This would be a pretty small trade. This would be the bare minimum PT. This is a trade where I would heavily consider going to this PT and moving my stop loss up to break even once it hits this. Because if it sweeps this and comes all the way back down to here, it's going to keep going. But right now, this is a reversal setup. It's a falling wedge. You got the nice sweep. You're in demand. You got to pivot. I'd like it to break demand before I get in this trade so that possibility is removed, but it's set up nice. Let's see if this candle closes a bit higher than I can hop in. It is not. It's gonna have to be ES, isn't it? No, let's see. Is ES even like moving at all? Yeah, 25. Yeah, it's about the same. Probably gonna be ES actually, but I'm gonna enter based on NQ's chart. By the way, all YouTube people, my Mark Douglas videos got taken out, unfortunately. You see, now NQ looks like it might be a bit stronger. I think I might just go with NQ, man. It keeps switching up. You know what? If this trade doesn't work, I'm trading cattle, guys. You know what? I think it did too. I think it went to cattle. Is it? I did fill on this, by the way. I'm confirmed in. I give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I was thinking ES is gonna be it, but it's kind of not. So didn't get the fill I wanted. I wanted to fill right here, just like last trade, but it's what am I gonna do? I guess so. Very tight stop loss again. Crazy risk to award. And I actually have my PT hard up here. I can't sell here. It's not even an option. It's barely a 1-to-1 risk to award, but the size is far too small. I can't do it. I hope I made the right decision in going with NQ keeps like flipping really strong on my entry candle and then becoming a weak bastard right after enter. Like, look at this. Useless. So that's a big issue. Yeah, that's an issue. I don't know why it keeps doing that today. Like on my entry candle, it's super, super, super strong. Weird. What a weirdo. Let's take a look at the cattle charts though, because if this trade doesn't work out, I'm feeling cattle. I'm feeling cattle. Oh, I'm so feeling cattle. Oh yeah, it's a bull market. Oh my gosh, look at the demand bounces here. In Buffalo, New York. Oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't think there was Buffalo futures. Cattle is a great, like, pretty much every bounce happens in demand. Like, boom, boom. Every demand that forms is tested. Every single one is tested and it bounces. Look at this. Boom, boom, boom. NQ is so weak, man. Pissing me off. It's actually not. It's just very unfortunate. Because it keeps doing it. Right when on the entry candle, it's strong enough for me to get into NQ, then it just decides not to move afterwards. This is not a good area to trade cattle, though. I feel like this is just kind of a gamble. You just got to hope which way it goes. Like, there's not even pivots up here. I mean, the best thing you can do is take an extension, but I don't even have very good extensions either right now. Look at ES go. Oh my god, what a freaking scam. What a freaking scam. NQ is going to be on my shit list after this trade. Not trading it again today. Keeps baiting me in. What a freaking scam. Forgot to document this trade. Yep, NQ's on my shit list. Useless. NQ for shorts, ES for longs the rest of the day. I'll watch when I finally enter ES longs, then NQ is going to be strong, and then it's going to go up. So it looks like it's going to stop out. I'm just hoping it pulls down ES a bunch too, because that way, even if I were in ES, I would have stopped out. So that's what I'm hoping for. You know, you could extend your stop loss for. There's just such heavy demand. I mean, you can put your stop loss much further down because it can easily sweep my stop loss and come back up. But yeah, that's just kind of where I chose, so I'll stick with it. I'm not going to move my stop loss around. Man, wish I was in ES right now. Useless. It's freaking useless. I'm about to dump NQ at break even. I cannot be in this trade anymore. It looks awful. Like it could not look worse. I don't think I'm going to get the chance to do that. Man, I'm going to have to stop out of this trade just to get into ES longs because my hypothesis is still valid. Now, the question is, do I sell NQ at break even? I really want to. But if it does go back to break even, that means it's invalidated this drop, which could be a lot of shorts to get squeezed out. And the thing is, if I sell NQ at break even, I can't really enter ES long here. But I want to sell at break even if it gets there. But you guys know my rule. If there's any hesitation, I don't do it. And I certainly have hesitation, so I'm probably not going to do it. But this is very unfortunate. If I were in ES, the trade would be green, and it would be looking near guaranteed to get to PT because of how much stronger NQ is, or ES is than NQ. 36. Yeah, like look at the difference. In the NQ candle at 846 my time and ES at 846. Keep getting hornswoggled into picking the wrong one. It happens. Capital, I will at some point this weekend. I've just been busy, dude. I've been so busy. Busier than I've ever been. Like, I still haven't updated the YouTube videos. I can't be asked to do that right now. Like, I only have a whopping, like, 2.5 hours of free time on the average weekday. So, especially with the giveaways making me get up at 5:20 in the morning to post a warning announcement and stuff, I've been drained. So now NQ wants to start flipping strong once it's right next to my stop loss. Nice. Folks, I think this may sweep and go right back up. Question is, do I dare re-enter if that happens? That I don't know. It looks like it's got a solid 89% chance of stopping me out. I would probably give it a solid 70% chance. It's just going to reach this lower demand and then come back up. I can enter long. I don't know if I'm going to, though. This second hour is kind of looking like hell at the moment. Looks like price action. I'd rather not trade. So I don't think I'm going to re-enter. I could. I mean, I'm confirmed in, but I don't think I'm willing to. I don't think I'm very willing to accept another loss on this same setup if NQ just flips weak again. How'd they find your Mark Douglas videos? I have no idea, Stonky. I don't know. Well, one of the videos, like I think they were like, let me go on YouTube and look. Okay. YouTube is being stupid. See, like VWAP Trading's YouTube videos of Mark Douglas have been on YouTube for 4 years. Except it has very little views. Aside from that, though, I think all the other channels got taken down. So why is VWAP Trading allowed to have it up? And it's a tiny channel. It's not a special YouTube channel. It only has what? I don't even know how many subscribers it has. It has 50 subscribers. But it's had the Mark Douglas videos up for 4 years. So I'm gonna contact Paula, and honestly, I would be even willing to pay $1,000 a video just to leave them up. Not even gonna lie. But considering the Paula chick is probably old, and retired, and likely manages Mark Douglas's money, that's probably pennies to her. So I don't think that's gonna work. But you miss every shot you don't take. So I'll contact them and see if there's anything I can do to do that. It seems about that time. All right, NQ is kind of a bear pennant right now. I would be more bullish on it than bearish, but I still think it's near guaranteed to sweep my stop. NQ is stronger than ES now, but I think, guys, I'm thinking NQ is going to sweep my stop and come up because I'm bullish on it, I can see it breaking demand, but overall, with how heavy this demand is, the pivot sweep we had, the chopping down, I can't be bearish here. But this candle is very bearish. This candle is very bearish. I just have a hard time believing it's going to get all the way to low of day. If it gets to low of day, I'd be happy. Also, with ES now weaker, it's looking like I would have stopped out of this trade even if I were in ES, so that's better for the second. But that did leave a triple top on ES. Are you trading futures and options? Why not just choose one? It's a good question, Banditas. Options I've been trading since 2020, so I'm not just going to get up and leave that. Also, it is beneficial for my server and for the people. That's how most people find me is through options trading. And I do like futures. I wouldn't be not open to trading futures full time, except I don't want to alert my futures trades. Futures is my peaceful time where I just get to trade and I don't have to spam my keyboard. So I do both. Which is why I'm able to live stream my futures, is because I'm not, spamming alerts in a channel. Really thinking this is going to sweep my stop and come right back up. It's a lot of buyers down here now. I think it's going to bear trap, so it's going to stop loss rate, shoot down, then shoot back up. I think depending on how it does it, I'm willing to give longs another attempt. One more attempt if it happens, right? In order for it to happen, though, it's got to get new low of day. So let's see if it does do that. So far, nothing this session. The second hour's been trash. It's a nice bear pin to break to the downside. Looks like it would have stopped out on ES as well. It's not getting low a day, but that's a good looking sweep. That looks like the bear trap that I called out. I may give this one more attempt. That would be my entry. This would be my stop loss. It's not bad. It can totally. I wish it would sweep low of day too, but I don't think I'm going to be fortunate enough to watch that happen. Especially with this being nearly a perfect trend line, or looks like it at least. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm back in. Give it one more attempt. We'll see. If it doesn't work out, I'm going to not do longs anymore. Because I don't want this in my entire session to just be a bunch of small losses chasing longs. That's not a very fun time. Six, 838, 824. Nope, looks like it's gonna stop out. All right, longs are off the table. NQ did its thing again, where it flipped super, super strong, really big candle, and just kind of chopping. So I'm 0-3, except the losses are very small today. So I'm like a green trade and a half from being green on the day. Fortunately, I could not enter because it did exactly what I said it was going to do. Now it looks like it's going to get low of day. Yeah, and I can't take shorts at all. These setups aren't good enough to take shorts at all either, so probably going to sit on my hands for a bit. Might not trade until the second hour's up. Does short look okay? I'm expecting the demand to break, but shorts didn't really look good. The only time shorts were possible for me to trade was right here, but unfortunately I was already in a long trade, so I can't do that. But that's the one short trade that I did call out. Chart this pivot. This is either looking like a red day or a very slightly green day, unfortunately. Well, I think you got it. It sucks. I'm just not the way this price action moved. I can't take any shorts. Couldn't get triggered into anything. Ryan, I actually haven't been taking more reversal type trades. Those trades I would take regardless. Chopping down in demand, sweeping liquidity, that's a long trade every single time. That's never a short trade. But as far as reversal trades in general, because these trades aren't like these trades I'd take anyways, but the kind of reversal trades that I haven't been taking, I have been taking more of. And even though they've had a 3.0 risk toward and above, like this is a reversal trade right now. But because I just lost 3 trades in a row, I'm not going to enter this one. Um, I can enter if it goes all the way back up. That's a much more likely feat. But I don't even know if I want to take that. I might take that, and if it loses, I might just call it a day. But the reversal trades that I have been taking that are newer, they've had like a 3.0 risk toward and actually like a 70% win rate, I want to say. I've taken like 4 and only one hasn't worked out, and that one was yesterday, the 61.8 reversal. So here's a trade that I can take, and it's even more likely than the last ones now that we've swept that final pivot. Um, it's a very hard trade for me to avoid. Like that's kind of a trade I have to enter. It's not a trade I can avoid, really. Even though I don't feel like losing again. Um, yeah, that's a trade I have to take, so I will take that. If you took that reversal trade down here, you're doing fairly well. The only reason why I didn't, because I'm not willing to take a low, because those kinds of reversal trades, they're pretty low probability, and I'm not willing to take a very low probability trade right now. And it looks like I'm actually going to take ES instead, maybe. It looks like NQ may be moving a bit more on this candle. So that's a nice falling wedge right there. That is a very nice falling wedge. Yeah, I um, took it on ES. So if ES flips weak, that's going to be unfortunate. But I just kind of like the way ES moved more. So I drew this. Was going to take NQ. It's a really tough decision today. This choosing between these two is a very tough decision. But this was my fill here. Again, pretty small losses. I'm still looking for this NQPT. But we'll see. Maybe this is the one time that ES decides to flip weak after enter. If that's the case, then today's just not a day to be. Today's just a day that's against me. It doesn't want me to finish the week strong. Finish strong on options. Hopefully I can do so on futures. But otherwise, this is kind of my PT on ES, but I'm more so looking for the Nasdaq. Um, wait a minute. Hold up. ES may be playing out the 78.6. This is such potential, guys. That would put my ESPT all the way up here. I don't have the nuts to hold that. That's really far. If it looks great, I will. The problem for me is I would be a lot more confident in the 78.6 fib if it didn't test it twice, right? If the 78.6 was perfectly playing out, it should just be one touch of that 78.6 and then boom, reversal and starts blowing through the rest of the fibs. We didn't see that. It retested that fib. Um, so yeah, I'm not going to go all the way to the 78.6 unless ES flips way stronger than NQ, and ES is already way up here by the time NQ is here. And if that's the case, then yeah, I'll hold because I'm still bullish for NQ to get to this PT, so we'll see. I'll keep this fib up though, because it's really all I can do for ESPTs today. And then this supply is huge, so the supply doesn't really mean anything to me. I mean, this is supply right here, but it's too close of a PT. The supply cluster starts just above the 78.6. So we will see. That triple top just broke on ES. That's a major resistance level. I think it was because of that triple top. ES was a lot more reactive to the downside. Looks like ES is trying to flip weaker. Gosh, my paper cut made me sad. That was a really freaking deep one. This damn journal works position on my desk makes it so easy to do that. How far is NQ actually up right now? 25. Yeah. NQ looks a bit stronger than ES, but as far as dollar amount, I'd be up the same. I'll keep this off the side so I can compare. My stop loss will be roughly here on the NASDAQ. It's a nice falling wedge, man. It's the highest probability trade. I just wish it didn't confirm me into trades beforehand. That's the only issue. But like I said, I can't. Even though I didn't feel like losing again, I can't. This isn't a trade I can really avoid. I have no idea if it's going to work out. I am expecting NQ to pull back pretty much here when it touches this bottom trend line because that's a very good trend line. And I can easily see NQ pulling back to put in an inverse head and shoulders. Um, but yeah, this trade's pretty unavoidable. Like if I decided to sit out this trade and it worked out, I'd hate myself when it comes time to review this day. The bare minimum Meow Mix is 1-to-1 restore. That is the bare minimum. Um, but I'm also not going to enter trades where my PT, the potential profit for the trade, is less than my average loss. That's typically a rule of thumb that I follow. Um, I try to only enter trades where my profit is more than my average loss. Of course, there may be some exceptions to that, but pretty much all the times that I can remember, that's what I do. My PT needs to be further than my average loss, at the minimum the same, but usually further. And I usually look for at least a 1.2 risk to reward, but if the odds are really high, I'll go for 1-to-1. It's fine, you know. Like you want to set, like yesterday, for example, you want to set yourself up to where you can go 2 and 5 and you're profitable for the day, right? Like that's what you want to do. We're starting to chop up. Looks great for a pullback. That was a proper trend line retest on NQ. How big will this pullback be? That's the question. Because if we get too big of a red candle, it looks like it's going to stop loss rate again, which would be pretty unfortunate. It's looking like it's too big of a red candle right there on NQ. I'm watching NQ, not so much ES at the moment because it's weaker. I kind of like this buying wick though on NQ. We'll see if it holds. If it doesn't hold, then that's not good. It is not holding. It kind of did. The reason I'm watching NQ because it's weaker, and if NQ looks like it's going to go to low a day, I don't think ES is going to be able to resist being pulled all the way down. But ES is doing what it's been doing, which is being stronger than NQ and just being more resistant to these drops. So I'm glad I'm in that. Because if I were in NQ right now, I'd be annoyed, very annoyed. But I would have been a fool to have what happened to me over the last two trades and still choose NQ. Would it be wrong? No. If you're just looking at the NQ chart, getting an NQ when I entered ES is a perfectly valid trade. It is perfectly valid. Like, it is a great trade. Um, but for me, it would be wrong because I've entered NQ every single trade today. And pretty much for every single trade, NQ ended up flipping weaker and being more reactive to drops. Now, that doesn't really hurt my psyche because even if I entered ES on the last trades, I would have stopped out anyways. It wouldn't have made a difference. But that's something that's been happening. So it's pretty hard for me to enter NQ again after that's been happening. But it looks like NQ. Man, what a tit. Like, if it just keeps doing this, guys, there's no money to be made today. Because that's not looking too much like a inverse head and shoulders. That's looking like NQ is going to go to a new low of day. And that's really unfortunate because that was a really nice reversal setup. So I'm really hoping that it puts in the inverse head and shoulders. Because if it keeps chopping down, it's impossible for me to pull any green trades today. It's a very nice buying wick and volume spike on NQ. And it had somewhat of a bullish candle open. So looks like it's going to give the inverse head and shoulders a try. Still watching the double fake prophecy on ES, or sorry, on NQ, by the way. Like, my TA alert was, um, if it invalidates like 40% of the move, so like if it gets up to here, I'm very bullish for it to continue. Possibly even through new high of day, but through this trend line. So that's what I've been waiting for. And this falling wedge easily is the setup to do it. But I don't know. Today's being weird. There's not should be a lot more buying than there is. Like, continued buying. I don't know why all these dips keep getting bought up if they're just giving it back right after. There was some fairly bearish news. I mean, US home sales, the lowest existing home sales, lowest since 1995. Like, that's to a normal mind that's bearish, but to me that's bullish because that means we're not going to raise interest rates more. Like, it's more of an incentive to cut interest rates, which is bullish for the market. But I'm not seeing any horrendously bearish news today. If, and it's a big if, but if NQ invalidates this entire drop, it is so set up for a huge run and a short squeeze. Like, it is so set up, guys. Because these drops have been so sharp and so strong on NQ, and they keep being invalidated. That's like the biggest red flag for shorts you can possibly see. It'll look great for a short squeeze in a run. So I really want that to happen because that'll be neat. But we will see. I'm going to hang out on my phone till NQ either dumps or we start running up because this is probably going to take a while. The potential for this is incredible. I really want that potential to play out because it's going to be a huge blue ball if it doesn't. But the amount of chopping down we've had, the amount of bullish sweeps with volume spikes, the amount of drop invalidations, this is so set up to run hell even all the way to high of day. Now, not to be an optimist or anything, high of day is too far for me to predict, but if it were going to go to high of day, this is totally a setup that can easily do that. Totally a setup that can do it, folks. Will we be blue balled though? That's the question. That is me right now, Guru. I'm actually about to. I'll be right back. Watch for. I hate even speaking it into existence, but there's a possible ES falling, rising wedge right now. So I hope that breaks to the upside. But I'll be back. I'm gonna get some cotton candy grapes to make watching this a little bit more enjoyable. All right, watch this rising wedge on ES. It's also against a 38.2% fib. As long as it's under that fib, it is still in a downtrend. It needs to break over the 38.2% to enter an uptrend. So I really want it to break that. This also looks like a pretty perfect trend line on NQ, which is bullish. Let's see. I can draw this. It's not perfect. No, Swag. It's the other way around. Cotton candy grapes. Do you guys want to hear a story of? Hang on. Thought it would be smart to chew my grape before I talked. Of how I actually came to love cotton candy grapes. Well, so pretty much all of my high school life, up until senior year, I played GTA. Like GTA 5 was my freaking game. I loved GTA. Right? I still love GTA. I just haven't played it in forever. Because we're waiting for GTA 6, and we will all hop on that and be rich. But anyways, two of the dudes that I'd always play with, they were in like my motorcycle club or whatever it was. Uh, they were from California. I don't know, some cool Mexican dudes that just said fool at the end of every sentence, right? So that's a habit I picked up on, just calling everyone a fool. um, but I played with them every single day for like 3 hours a day. Not 3 hours a day, like an hour and a half to anytime I could. I mean, I was in all dual enrollment college AP classes plus full time football and stuff, so I wouldn't get home until like 6, and then I wouldn't do homework. But I was smart enough to where I usually didn't really have to. I would just copy other people's and figure it out on test day. So, anyways, I found out that they actually worked for the. Let me look it up real quick. So they were in North California, and they looked up. Um, Hang on. They might have worked for Sun Grape, California. I don't know, but I found out they worked in the vineyards, which um I don't know. They worked in the grape vineyards, okay, and they would just talk about work and whatever. And they put me on cotton candy grapes because they're the ones that grew them. And ever since then, I've never bought normal grapes. That's how I discovered cotton candy grapes. Also, like the gumdrop grapes are very good too. They're very grapey grapes. So I think of like the most grape flavored Kool-Aid you've ever had. They're that. Like they're the grapiest grapes you could ever possibly imagine. Um, that's how I found out cotton candy grapes because the dudes I played GTA with for years on end, like 2 years straight, grew cotton candy grapes, and they said they put me on. We are the same guru. Yep. See you later, Nader. Do you think putting down the cup could make me a better trader? No. Keep that cup up, buddy. Take your votes in chat. How far do you guys think this is gonna go? Finally a trade that lasts more than 1 minute. You know, looking back on the trades that I took, I think the only trade that was avoidable was this one. All the other trades had solid liquidity sweeps, solid momentum, like here and here. I think this one was the only one that was avoidable. It's all a tough decision because my bias is bullish, you know. But the reason why this one was avoidable is because NQ missed low of day. But at the same time, it's like this could have been the breakout, you know. So it's tough when I start getting chopping down as my enemy. When we're chopping down, especially in demand, and look how many pivots I have, by the way. Like every single one of these bounces is a bullish liquidity sweep. Every single one. It's really hard for me to not get stuck in that chop, you know, and that doesn't happen often. Like this doesn't happen often. Um, Usually I'm able to avoid like losing money because it's a falling wedge, right? You know it's a falling wedge at the like at the end. Um, but usually it's easier for me to avoid taking trades and getting stuck in shop if there's not like solid pivots, but it's rare that I have this many solid pivots the whole way down. I mean, if I just mark all of them, hang on, let's do this. Like boom, boom. Like it's hard for me to not. It's plus you got heavy demand too. It's very hard to avoid some of those long trades there. Pretty difficult. Let's get high update. That would be cool, Stonky. That would be cool. This is a good profit take area here. You know, the thing is, how high we think it's gonna go. That's the thing. Because this is my NQPT up here. I think this is a good PT. I think the 61.8 is a good PT. I think that's a good place to sell, which is here. And I'm willing to extend it a little tiny bit further for it to sweep this high. I think there's a good chance it pulls back before this high. But honestly, if it pulls back before this high, puts in a cup and handle and goes back up, I'd move my stop loss to break even and just kind of let it go. In fact, I kind of forgot to move up my stop loss, so I'll do that. Um, I don't want to move it up that high yet. I could move my stop loss to break even. It's a little too early though. I don't want to. Especially with that ES double top, if it comes back down, I'm not going to be willing to sell at break even. So put up a little bit. NQ, I'm able to move it up a bit higher. Yeah, if I were in NQ, I'd... Here's the thing. If I were in NQ, this would be difficult because it's been weaker than ES. NQ, I would be able to put my stop loss above this low. ES, I want to, because NQ, yeah, that's a fine stop loss. ES, I want to move my stop loss above that low, but that's pretty much at break even. And I'm not ready for it to go to break even yet, honestly. Because I think there's an okay chance that NQ rejects the supply, dumps, knock on wood, dumps, sweeps this low and bounces, and ES will do something like this. Because ES has been stronger and less reactive to the bounces. So, yeah, if you're in NQ, and I feel like a lot of you guys are, I mean, that's where the falling wedge was. Um, I think this is a fine stop loss. You just got to hope that NQ doesn't flip super weak again and do what it did earlier. But I also think NQ has a lot more shorts to squeeze out than he has. So I'd expect somewhere above the 50% retracement. NQ's, I'm thinking when NQ, or if NQ gets above the 50% retracement, it's going to do what it did, was it yesterday or the day before? I don't remember, but then NQ will start being way stronger and catch up when more shorts squeeze out. It's kind of what I'm thinking. But ES for now, I just move my stop loss to here. It's fine. Like by then, if it comes all the way down there, it should go to low of day. Still really liking ES's strength though. Why grind for money when you can just cheat and dupe a bunch of cars in GTA? Nope. Nope. As because you only do clean dupes. Okay? And clean dupes, so nostalgic. Clean dupes is when like there are certain cars that are free. You can just buy them and they're free. Like elegies. They're free. And every time you buy a new car, you get a new license plate, right? And a lot of the dupe glitches takes a car that sells for like $1.8 million. For those yet know, it's a Future Shock Weenie Issy Classic. You take a car that sells for a bunch of money and you duplicate that car and turn that new car, the free one, into one of those. So every single one of your duped cars has a legitimate different license plate. So when you go to sell it, as long as you don't sell more than 3 an hour, it's not going to raise you any red flags. And because the license plates are different, it's not going to trip Rockstar's like anti-cheating system. But if you sell a dirty dupe where you have the same license plate on both cars, then you have a huge issue. Then you need a custom plate. So some duplication glitches you need a custom plate. Some you wouldn't need it because they'd be clean dupes. Good stuff. See, the problem was I played GTA from the time I was like um, 14 and a half, 15, all the way through like 17. Um, but I played on my dad's PS4, PS5, PS4, then went to PS5. No, it was PS4 because I got a PS5 after I moved out. But because it was on my dad's account when I moved out of his house when I was 18, I don't have that GTA account anymore. Like it still exists, but it's on my dad's account. And normally, for a normal family situation, you just log into that account. But my dad plays Fortnite every single day. So I can't log in or I'm going to kick him off Fortnite. So Yeah, that's why I haven't touched GTA in years is because of that. Because if I log into that account, my dad wouldn't even give me the password because it would kick him off Fortnite, and he can't have that. My dad has been playing Fortnite since I was a sophomore in high school, and he still can't build. He hasn't gotten any better. Like legitimately, he hasn't gotten any better, and that's very interesting to me because usually people get naturally better, but it's like you always hear it's hard to teach an old dog new tricks, right? I have literally experienced that with my dad failing to get any better at Fortnite after playing for 7 years, 6 years, legitimately. So, um, but now he just plays Bed Wars on Fortnite. He just plays that Bed Wars map on Fortnite. But yeah, every day after work, he comes home. It's on Fort. It's either working on a truck or playing Fortnite. That's what he does. Dude, I can't play Fortnite, dude. I'll get freaking curb stomped and then danced on by some 10-year-old that's skipping school. You gotta play no build. No build is like the game mode for the employed. Guys, why am I selling this trade? I think I'm gonna sell if NQ gets to my PT. I'm not willing to hold it all the way to high of day. Now, keep in mind, here's the thing with that though. The double fake prophecy, I still want it to break back over this trend line. I think this area here is a very likely area for a pullback though. And I think it's actually fairly likely to pull back before he gets to this area. But if it doesn't, I'm selling here because I think it's going to pull back after. If it pulls back before it gets there and puts in a bull flag or a handle for a cup and handle, do I extend the PT? That's the question. I don't know. What was that? Modern Warfare 2019 was the most fun I have ever had in my life. I'm not even joking. That was like the greatest time of my entire life. Like the most just joyful time of my entire life. Me and my friends, my three buddies who we went through football together, we all end up getting saved together. So they're my church friends now. Um, Modern Warfare 2019 every single day through varsity football, every single day like clockwork. When we get home from practice, we're up to like midnight playing freaking Modern Warfare 2019. And that entire season. Like there was like a solid 8 9 month period where we did that, and then spring is when I started to spring 2020. Right after I turned 18 in April, that's when the stock market stuff started getting addicting, and I stopped playing video games for that like entire summer. That entire rest of the year, really, I stopped playing video games. Um, so that's when that ended. When stock market. But that was like the phase of my life, the last phase of my life where like the stock market wasn't in the picture. It was such a so many. Whenever we just hang out and talk, we still occasionally just talk about things that we did and how awesome that was. And we have so many clips of us play. It was so good. It was such a good time. I've never had more fun playing video games in my entire life. It was so good, dude. Everything was so good. Search and Destroy was so good too. All of it was just so good. So funny too. Right, yeah, I wasn't even there. I was there for the peak. I was there for like a solid 8 9 months, and that was it. Uh, yeah. I think I started playing again there. For me, peak Warzone was like late 2019, very late 2019. Um, it was at the end of the first map, the Verdansk map. Uh, no, it was 2019, dude. No, we played after football. We played after football. It was certainly 2019 because I think it released early-ish 2019. I'm telling you, dude, after football practice, we would play, and all through that last semester uh, of 2019, we were playing that first map. Mhm. Mhm. Well, when did Warzone drop? Because for me, that's when we played the most, but we mostly just played Search and Destroy. So that might, yeah, that might be correct. Yeah, that Warzone. Yeah, I was just talking about Modern Warfare Night 2019. Search and Destroy was good. We did play quite a bit of Warzone. I started playing again, kind of like late that summer, like late. Yeah, I played like September-ish, but that entire summer I wasn't really playing video games because stock market things. Now I wasn't playing nearly as much, but I had the most fun with Search and Destroy was so good. Yeah, I think Modern Warfare 2019 is the best COD of all time. For my age group, it's the best COD. Everyone gives way too much hype to Black Ops 2. It's just nostalgic. You were like 10 years old. You weren't old enough to actually enjoy that game. Get out of here. OG Modern Warfare 2 was really good because my younger brother, my next oldest brother, who's 2 years younger than me, he was the only brother that was old enough to play. So the offline co-op missions were fantastic on that game. It's perfect if you have a sibling. So yeah, I had a lot of fun on Modern Warfare too. But the most fun I've ever had on a COD is definitely Modern Warfare 19 because then you have a friend group where you're like degenerate enough to have a lot of fun, and before that, you're just kind of too young. In middle school and whatnot, it's like you're just kind of you're too young to get the full experience. You guys got to the 61. Looks like NQ's catching up. Did I not say that I predict NQ's going to flip stronger after it crosses the 50% fib? Selling right when NQ gets there, I'm dumping yes. But then again, the 78.6, it's complicated because it bounced off the 78.6 twice. If it were just one bounce, I would hold to the 78.6 because it is blowing through the rest of the fib levels. But I'm still expecting a pullback before NQ gets to that level. It'd be really nice if it didn't. I think it's just a bit too likely to, but we'll see. But yeah, Modern Warfare 9. I mean, GTA 5 was good too. Like GTA 5 was so good, but what did it for me is my friends played. Like I didn't have friends that I knew in real life that played GTA. Um, my very close friends, we all played Modern Warfare 2019 religiously. I have so many videos in my phone of just crazy clutches and just kinds of great memories that were freaking awesome. It was a good time. What? What was it? Damn. We were really sweaty, and Search and Destroy was our thing. Do you guys remember that like OG COD YouTuber like called Wildcat or whatever? So I never really watched him, but my buddies would watch him. We fought him and his team in a search and destroy match, um, and we whooped their ass. Like it was awesome. We've never sweated so hard because my buddy Drew recognized them, and we there was actually quite a few YouTuber teams that we destroyed, but we were like very annoying. Like I was either a sniper in the back. One of my buddies would have a riot shield and a crossbow, and then my other buddies would have riot shields and dragon breath shotguns, like the most toxic things possible that are just extremely hard to beat. And then on top of that, we had trophy systems. So when we plant the bomb, we're in the room in a corner with a shield in front with trophy systems behind the bomb, so they literally can't come in. And we just throwing knife them. Like it was the most toxic thing ever, but it was really good. It's such a good time. Well, ES is still stronger than NQ. NQ's trying to pull back, but this is bullish consolidation here. I'm liking the way this is pulling back at the moment. I really am. This looks bullish, guys. I told you guys this run has so much potential, and I'm probably not going to extend my PT. I'm probably just going to sell when if NQ gets there. But this is set up to where it could go to high of day. It's very respectful, T Crafty. Don't you guys love trades where we just enter and it goes up the entire time? So I have like 30 minutes to rant about whatever I want. Hey, at least I wasn't wrong. Like I was bullish down there. Like I wasn't bearish. I was bullish. That's what sucked, you know? Because I knew like didn't know what was going to go up, but I knew the odds of it going up. The odds looked pretty dang good, so it was really hard for me to not take a stab at long trades. Now imagine if I didn't get into longs, even though psychologically I didn't want to enter longs because I just lost 3 times in a row trying it. Um, I told you guys that's a trade where I have to enter, and if I didn't enter because I was scared because I just lost, and that trade worked out, I look back in my journal, I'd look like such a freaking dumbass. So you gotta enter. You guys are going for 112. Where's your RPT at, Guru? Oh, I thought you said you don't. Sorry, I thought you do. 372. Where's 3725? Oh, yeah, me too. Dude, I just think it's so. I think yeah, it could, but if I zoom out on this chart, it sweeping these higher highs here. If these higher highs weren't swept and the chart looked different like this, then totally be like, all right, but because it swept these highs, I'm like, I don't know if it's gonna get to high of day. Like technically it could. I'm thinking it's gonna have some big pullback right here, and then maybe keep going and then just kind of chop up or do something. But those higher highs really throw it off. If these higher highs weren't like this, I would be okay. Yeah, just following it all the way. But it really messes. Yeah. Just don't be a Tom Hugar believer if you're trading 0 day options. That's what I've learned. It's so bad, dude. I lost so much money. I'm like, I'm gonna try something new. It worked once. Like, all right, try again. Does not work. That works if you're trading futures, not options, or options with a very far out expiration. Yes, it is, Swaggy. Yes, it is. The psych that it requires to do that with 0 day options is too much for me to bear. It is simply too much. Futures is way easier because you can literally move up your stop. Here's the thing. Like, say I enter this trade. Here, I average up here and I average up here, and then it pulls back to here. I'm already at break even because it chopped so much. Are you going to be able to sell? Now it goes down to here, and now you're red 30% because it chopped so much. Like, the theta screws it up. You can't do it. Like, it doesn't work. You can do it with very far out options, but yeah, the whole point of averaging up on futures is you still know exactly when you get out, and there's no surprises. It's not decaying, it's not doing anything. It's just straight numbers. If it's going up, you're good. If you average up a ton and it comes back to break even, fine, you're out. Because doesn't Tom Hugar, when he average up, move his stop loss to break even, Guru? I do like this trade. This trade's break stop loss, obviously. Because I think Tom Hugard in one of his videos talked about that. He moved up his stop loss to break even. I don't know if he does that with every trade, but he does that. Um, right, right. Oh, you know me, dude. I like this is a trade where I can put my stop loss to break even because it should not get to break even. If it gets to break even, the shit's invalid. So I tell people all the time this trade. I knew this trade was going to stop out here. I said there's like a 90% chance. I have people all the time say, "Why don't you just sell early then for a small gain or a smaller loss?" I'm like, the very small amount of money I can save or make doing that is not worth the psych risk that that'll do to me. Because God forbid if I know it's going to stop out and I sell early and it goes back up and now I can't enter and I miss a green trade, goodbye to your psych. You're done. You're toast. Because you're not going to be able to bear the thought of you making a bad decision. So it looks like I was correct. NQ's pulling back right before it gets to that level. We'll see how it pulls back. If it just goes right back up, I'm selling no matter what. If it pulls back and forms a nice cup and handle, I may let it run more. We'll see. I'm probably just going to sell it anyways when it gets there, realistically. I've been in this trade long enough. Oh, ES is still so much stronger than NQ. That's a big drop on NQ. We'll see how that. Lately, though, and knock on wood, I mean, this time could be different. If it just goes all the way back down to break even right now, that's just unlucky, man. But anyways, lately on these longer trades with these huge candles, these huge red candles have been pretty much bear traps. And actually, that's why I don't even want to talk about it. Every single time I've had one of these trades over the last week and a half, every single time it's pulled back and put in a massive red candle, it's been a bear trap and went right back up, which has me concerned because it's happened every single time. I think the odds of it happening again, gambler's fallacy. I think it's not likely to happen, but we'll see. It's literally happened every single time. Um, I don't need these fibs up anymore. Let's declutter this chart. That's pretty bearish drop there on NQ at least. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep this off to the side. I always know it's coming. I'm so good at predicting pullbacks coming. I just don't know how far it's gonna go, so it's very stressful. I keep this level. This is comparing NQ to ES. In NQ, I'm assuming you probably put your stop at break even, so it's a lot closer to your stop than ES is. Man, I was kind of hoping it was just gonna get there. It was so freaking close, but the longer it goes without a pullback, the worse it looks for continuation. That shit is bearish on NQ. I totally jinxed it, didn't I? I said it's happened every single time. What are the odds it happens again? What news just happened to the market to ruin my gorgeous trade? NQ, if you took NQ, you're out of break even there in 3 candles. Yeah, that's pretty damn bearish. No, that's rough right there. That's not good. Did Trump say something? Is Trump talking right now? That would just ruin my trade. Yeah. Oh, it was so close, man. I needed it to go less than 2 points. Less than 2 points. That was a sell. Yeah, 2 points. I would have sold. Unfortunate. Yeah, all right. That was a great trade. That is so bearish on the NASDAQ, folks. It's starting to look like I'm going to stop at a break even. Oh my gosh. That is so freaking bearish. That shit is looking like we are going past low of day on the NASDAQ. Trade's invalidated. I sold it for a very small gain. Yep, that is the opposite of a bullish chart. I document this real quick. So close, folks. So close. And someone ruined it. Who can we blame? We need to blame someone. Freaking Tommy, dude. Freaking Tommy. And that's break even stop. I sold it for a whopping $100 profit. Womp womp. Holy shit, it's gonna get to new low of day. I want to enter shorts if it bounces. I think it's gonna bounce here, and I think that's gonna be a good short entry. Or if it somehow closes without this small buying wick, it's not gonna bounce. No shot it doesn't bounce here. So close, folks. So close. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Well, it tried to bounce. It is not doing that. Jeez, it's so bearish. Oh my gosh. I want a bounce to let me in, but it's not going to do it. Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Maybe ES just got a lower low. It might. Oh, that is so bearish. That looks good, very good to ES new low of day. Here's a bounce. I'm heavily considering shorts on this bounce. Heavily considering it. Document the results of this trade. See, if I were trading options, I would enter half size here. It'd be a great half size entry. Looks like NQ is going to bounce more. I'm totally thinking it comes down to new low of day, though. I think I'm going to take it on this NQ candle. Candle end up closing pretty green. If that last green candle validates, I'm going to hop in. If we do, if ES squeezes back to here, I might be back in longs, though. I've seen both scenarios play out. Still kind of liking NQ shorts more to low of day. Yeah. No, this candle's opening bullish. This looks like a potential short squeeze back up, but we'll see if buyers can hold. If we invalidate most of this bounce, I'm going to take it as a scalp to low a day, and then I'm probably going to move my stop up and try to hold it to the next demand. I, I, I don't know. It looks like it. It doesn't look. Yeah, I'm in NQ shorts. So NQ. So if I were trading options, I'd trim at NQ new low of day. I'm not trading options though. So what I'm looking for is ES new low of day. Now NQ is a lot weaker than ES. So if NQ gets a new low of day, I'm moving my stop up to here for a very small loss. It's already kind of set up to be a small loss if it squeezes again. Um, but I'm really kind of gonna be looking for this demand. Gosh, those candles were so bearish, man. No wicks either. Like no major wicks. You finally got some wicks right here. You got two green candles. You had a third, and even that third invalidated. and now the entire bounce is gone. Yeah, that is pretty freaking bear. That's pretty bearish. The only thing that's going against this trade is Head and Shoulders. We could squeeze a lot higher, bounce, sweep my stop loss, and then come back down for Head and Shoulders. I just had to jinx it, guys. Right when that first big red candle, I'm like, every single time it's invalidated that red candle. What are the odds it happens again? Sure enough, it finally happened. The odds caught up with me. What do you think, Guru? You think we're heading to a new low of day on the Nasdaq, then maybe the next demand, or you think we squeeze back up on ES? Yeah, if you come up for the Head and Shoulders. Yeah, it looks like my shorts are gonna sweep stop. That's a pretty bullish candle. It did the perfect thing to trigger me into shorts. It's pretty guaranteed to stop out now. But I have high doubts that it's gonna go all the way back up. And it looks like this kind of a yeah, it kind of just looks like a bull trap. I hate that it's this close. I hate that it's probably gonna stop me out before it goes down again, but it's a very good attempt. I mean, it triggered me in flawlessly. It's an okay trend line on ES. It's definitely not perfect by any means, but yeah, very large compression. Never mind, that's a good stop loss. It barely missed. So even if it does go back up, the fact that it barely missed my stop once makes me happy. Well, if I wasn't in shorts yet, I would have to be in now. I would so have to be in. Oh my lord. Oh my gosh. That is like the greatest bull trap setup ever. If we don't dump past NQ new low of day, that's going to be sad. In fact, I'm already going to move my stop up to here. No reason to have it above. If it invalidates that red candle, it's going to keep going. Oops. It's the wrong order. Let's see if it can do it. So unfortunate for those longs, man. It was so close. What a good What a good attempt. That's so annoying. It's the kind of trade you lose sleep over. But to be honest, because our psych is my psych is too good for that. It's just I'm a victim. That's really what it is. Like I'm literally just a victim. Whatever the market does to the market does whatever it wants to me. Ew, NQ barely missed low of day. There's a lot of buyers stepping in here. We could squeeze back up on this trade. Um, I guess so. It's like sounds like City would say to me. That's short squeeze potential right there, unfortunately. Even if it goes up to I don't think it's going to go all the way back up. It could, but I don't think it's going to. I think this is a lot of people just trying to figure out what happened and if it's actually bearish or not before it goes down more. But I don't know. I need this selling wick to. If this selling wick doesn't hold, it's definitely going to hit stop loss. But then how high is it going to go? I'd much rather it not go all the way back up because that would just be painful to see. It, we're all just masochists to the market. That is a new word. Let's look that word up. Fancy guy over here. Geez. Masochist. Someone who enjoys pain or humiliation, especially for sexual gratification. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah. That word was in my daily devotional this morning. What? What was a devotional? Enjoys pain. Wait, what was your devotional talking about that that word would be used? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Send a picture of it. Whoever was cooking up that devotional Bible, or if it or devotional story, was like thinking of, all right, what's the craziest, like, what's the most creative way I can incorporate this word into a devotional? 'Cause I can't think of. It's pronounced a masochist. I see. Lopez is a masochist connoisseur. And it looks like this trade is going to stop out. NQ stronger than ES. Was looking okay to go back down there. Definitely going to sweep stop. I'm thinking after it does that, it's going to head down, but we'll have to see. Gotcha, Stonky. Oh yeah, NQ is way stronger than ES. Rip. And NQ was a lot weaker when I entered this trade. NQ also fell a lot closer to low of day. ES didn't, so it swept a lot more buy side. So I think it's gonna just do this. I think it's gonna do something like this, and then maybe this. No matter what, though, if I didn't get in the trade then, I would have got in on that huge red candle. I cannot avoid that, unfortunately. That is not a trade I can avoid. This is an unavoidable loss here. What a crappy day, man. The one trade that was finally, like, my day nearly flipped green. Like, if it would have hit that PT, my day would have actually been, like, pretty much green. It would have been very slightly green. I saw it. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel. Then I got scammed. Ah, I see, Stonky. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. NQ's way too strong. Way, 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 way too strong. It's going to sweep my stop and come back down. I'll put money on it. In fact, if it did sweep low a day, it would be truly a good long trade right here on NQ. It would not be a bad long trade. But because it didn't, that is ruled out. In fact, I'm actually going to remark just a low a day so I can see the distance here. It's starting to look like if we do see new low day, ES is going to beat it to it. NQ does not want to go down anymore. NQ looks ready to pop to the upside here. Let's see if it does it. Looks ready to. This would be my target if it did here. It could stop loss trade back down, which is why I'm just kind of letting the trade play out. This is geared to be a very small loss, only 13 points on NQ. But we have three lower lows, or sorry, lower highs, all of which with selling wicks is set up to squeeze. The only way this doesn't squeeze is if ES decides to go to demand, which NQ somehow breaks through these buy orders and triggers a stop loss right here. It's in my mind the only way that doesn't happen, but I think there's like a solid, I give it like a 30% chance that happens. Hey Bryce, I made a rule to end the day after three losses in a row. What do you think? Yes. Okay, so if you end the day on three losses in a row, technically from a pure probabilistic standpoint, that's not good, right? Because if you have a profitable edge, you never stop. Like casinos never close for that reason, right? Um, However, if statistically you are, as far as in a probability perspective of your emotions, if after three losses in a row, statistically you're very likely to blow your account or make critical errors and reinforce bad psych, then you need to walk away because the cost of you not walking away is greater than the cost of you walking away. And that cost being the gains that your edge would produce, right? So it's not a great thing, but it's a necessary thing, if that makes sense. Oh, NQ looks so ready to squeeze here. Is it going to bait you in, Guru? Or are you going to become a victim? What's your entry going to be looking like? I rejected the 38.2. Yeah, I can see it. It's possible, except I feel like it's gonna scam us both because NQ missed low day. If NQ did miss low day, this would be such a good long trade right now. Like there's the way its shorts are still trying to get in this low. It looks the same. It looks pretty much the same that it did right here. Like it'll look like a compressed spring ready to go. But because it missed low a day, it's I don't know. I know that ES is a bear pennant right now. But I'm still leaning more bullish for NQ to break to the upside because it did make at least a lower low here, just not against low of day, and to get a very nice buying wick in doing that. What? And what does that mean? Make it in? Interesting. Mm-hmm. Right, right. Yep. It'd be very sad, Guru, if it baits you into. Quarter set. Indeed. Well, it did sweep my stop there. So if we come back down, I may have to give it one more attempt, which would bring today's red day to like a slightly larger than medium green day. But it'd pretty much be the same thing because well, it swept on MNQ. It's a perfect double top on NQ, so that's actually pretty hard to re-enter. Is that a perfect double top? 98. No, I have a perfect double top on TradeAvate. I mean, on TradingView. Sounds like a good idea, Stonky. Touch some grass. Now it looks like ES is trying to flip strong. We could, I mean, maybe we could. I mean, ES's chart looks more likely to go back up than NQ does. Touch some snow. Yeah, I don't have any snow here. You're right, it is squeezing. Pretty full body, buddy. Yeah, it was. It's not a terrible long. I can't get confirmed in though. I can on ES, but I'm not really willing to. I'm kind of just willing to just accept my red day and just do it that. 'I got scammed out that long trade. It got freaking scammed, folks. That's so unfortunate. Because now ES looks pretty good. ES looks fairly good to go all the way back up. Whatever news was going, whatever went on there, really just screwed up the market. 22.38. That's a spot. Very bearish. That's not a very bearish hold on NQ though. ES is a bit more, but it looks more like bullish consolidation on NQ to me. Looks pretty good. We'll hop down to the 15-second chart and you can see how good that is. Yeah, look at that. Not too bad. Let's see who puts in a little bull flag here. Candle needs to close with a buying wick on NQ. It did get a buying wick. That's pretty good. That's very good, actually. Oh my gosh, that looks good. No. Probably done trading, guys. Just gonna lock in my red day. I got what, four small red and one what should have been very big green. Ended up being a small green because I sold before it got to my break even. My third red day of January. It was almost great. It was almost great, guys. It really was. It was almost a spectacle. 2 days in a row where I get like three red trades in a row and then make it all back on the last trade. It's too late. It's already the work's already been done. This might play out like a bull flag on 8, but now it's kind of being weak. I could see a possible cup and handle on the Nasdaq too. ES looks a lot better than the Nasdaq, but the head and shoulder, and the reason why is because the head and shoulder bothers me a lot on the Nasdaq. That's a good stop loss though, because my original stop loss was all the way up here. So moving my stop loss down saved me some money. Do I take one more? Do I take one more trade? Guys, I might have to. And then today would be, it still wouldn't be as big of a red day as my first red day of January where I was 0-4 and each red trade was decent size. But yeah, I took it on this. I took one last trade. One last. I can't, like, man, I got to. It's the head and shoulders. It confirmed. I actually filled pretty decent. I filled right here. Um, it's 1.4 just a new low of day. I can't, like, that's a pretty unavoidable trade. I'm willing to lose money on this trade. Spend money to find out. I'm in Arizona, Barra. Both me and Guru are victims. It's all right. We can console each other. I'm hella willing. I could not be more willing to bear the expense of this trade right here. Oh, sweet Lord Almighty, looks so good. There is NQ new low of day. Yeah, you did not walk out too early, buddy. Where's the next pivot at on NQ? All the way down here? Yeah, I'm kind of leaning for the next demand. The next pivot's right here, but I'm kind of leaning for the next demand personally. But yeah, I don't think I can re-enter. I think that's it. I think that's it for me. Especially because I put in that buying wick in the volume spike. But now ES is doing its thing where it's flipping really weak, so it was a good trade. Made my money back from this trade plus a little bit. So not a very red day. I want to stick around and watch though because I want to see if ES ends up going to low of day. Because that is a nice sweep on NQ, but is it really gonna I don't think that's gonna hold. That is a very, very nice sweep, but with how hard we crashed back down, that looks more than a bear trap to me. Yeah. It's a nice candle though, and a nice reaction to that low. That's really nice. ES just doesn't look like it's ready to go back up yet. I would like to see NQ hit demand. But we know that this is such a heavy support area. We've had so many, pretty much all today has just been major bounces out of this area here. Good sell so far though. Uh, it swept it right here. I think it was a pretty hard bounce. I wish it was just a little bit harder because I would have sold. What that did that bounce? Yeah, something like that. Right, right. Yeah, that freaking long trade bugs me, folks. Damn, that freaking bugs me. It's gonna be like an itch I can't scratch for the rest of today. It looks like this sweep's gonna hold, but I really don't want it to. I really want it to keep going down. And right as I say it, it starts going up. So this is totally falling wedge here. It's definitely not a long trade that I will be entering. I'm done trading. So I'm still trading extremely light size. So um, yeah, that's 6 trades as well. Because I was down 450 with those 3 losses in a row. Very small, like tiny losses, tiny size. And then I did see green on that green trade. I did see green, but that didn't. I ended up selling that for like 80 profit. So it dropped me to like minus 370. Took that extra loss. That brought it back to like five something, 520. And then I made that back. So it's back to like minus 350, which is like one green trade. It's not a big deal. It's whatever, man. Unfortunate, but it's whatever. It's really not a big deal. Sucks though. It sucks because I don't really know if today could have been green. I don't actually know if it could have. With the way price action chopped down, I could have avoided one of those red trades, but that wouldn't have changed too much. Yeah, just it would have just been a very, very small green day. Or just very much small, yes, very much smaller red. Not even much smaller, a little bit smaller. NQ looks, all these candle opens are bullish. See how every candle is opening within the selling wick? These are bullish candles. That looks like great squeeze potential, but I want it to go down. I don't want it to go back up to I want it to never come back up ever again. That way I feel good about stopping out of my long trade. I hate how much potential this has to go up. Oh no, I'm not okay, buddy. All right, buddy. Yeah, I might go with my broker with Guru talking over my shoulder. I'm gonna end up like you, dude. I'm gonna get a candle from hell. No, doubt it. Right, right. Just fill it. You know you want to fill it. You're gonna make so much, but you're gonna make it all back and then do it. How bad is it to break a rule one time? It's not gonna be that bad, right? And if you lose it, it's just another loss. You don't even need to take another trade. Good. That's good stuff. I don't think that affected as many people as believe. Like just the Palisades got smoked, and it's still a lot of people, but like the pictures of like LA in the background is just all orange. It wasn't really in LA. Yeah. No, T Crafty, I don't like I'm not tempted. That's a thing. I don't want it to go up. I'm not even slightly tempted to get into longs. Like I don't want it to go up. Like I genuinely, even if it does go up, and if I were trading right now, I still wouldn't. It's hard for me to say that I wouldn't get into longs if I wasn't trading, but I just don't want it to go up. Like personally, I just don't want it to. It's my nap time right about now. Not yet. It's getting there though. Yeah, it's getting there. Yep. Especially when I have my brain melted by the market. Right after that, it's like a nice. It's nice. I think the biggest reason why I just wanted to go down is because it's gonna make my long trade feel so much better. Like if it just goes down the rest of the day, I'm like, it's just nice. It's just like closure. Whereas if it just goes up the rest of the day, it's just bitterness. I got hornswoggled for no reason. Feels like we are primed for a pullback in general. So in general, I assume you're talking about the daily. Yeah, I can see it on the daily. I'm bullish for all-time highs. The chart is clearly bullish. I mean, this is the trade that I entered, except on the 1 minute. You have the lower lows in demand. You enter right around here, and you play it to here. I mean, it's the same as trading the 1 minute. Um, a pullback here, I can see though. I can see a pullback here. Not far though. Not far. I'm thinking maybe to this demand and then back, or we have much heavier demand here that I think we can just pull back to and go. But right now, it just looks this is a bullish chart on the daily. Let's take a look at gold. Let's take a look at things while we're hanging out. Yeah, that looks bullish. That's another thing that I hate that it goes up, man, because I don't have any right now. Everything that I don't own, I want it to crash and burn. Like Bitcoin, for example. I wish Dan Pena was right, except he's not. He's stupid. Look at all these beautiful falling wedges playing out. Such a good pattern, especially in demand too. Look at the demand. So good. Yeah, everything looks primed for all-time highs. I still think we're going to crash maybe later this year. I don't think Trump's going to be able to do anything to save it. But you'll not catch me shorting the market. That won't happen. No, dude, it's trashed. It's done. The only thing they can do is hit the reset button. That's probably what's going to happen. Yeah, well, I think it's coming again. I mean, we had more bank failures in 2023 than we did in 2008, I think. Let me fact check that real quick. When did that happen? 2022, 2023. Okay, 2022. Okay, it's 2023, not 2022 where bank failures happened, which is interesting because we only went up in 2023. Interesting. Um, yes, 2023 had more bank failures than 2008, with the total assets of failed banks being higher than those that failed in 2008 when adjusted for inflation. How the hell does that make sense, right? That's why, like, don't even get me started, but I am so bearish on just everything. Doesn't make sense, folks. It doesn't make sense. It's a scam. It's an illusion. It's fake. That's why I'm just day trading. That's why I don't even want to swing because then I can't help but like my perma bear bias kicks in. So I just day trade and stay in my little bubble, try to make some money, and then leave and go and do my thing. But yeah, more bank failures in 2023 than 2008, and you don't hear anything about it. That's hard to believe too. That's even though I knew that stat, I had to fact check it. Like that's pretty difficult to believe. Yeah, yeah. Totally. If you're doing options, totally. Because the IV, because naturally you have so many more call traders than short traders, and naturally the IV for those long-term puts are going to be way less than calls because everyone's bullish on the market. But once shit starts hitting the fan and IV starts pumping, those puts go absolutely ballistic because it's unexpected. The IV is low, so implied volatility is a huge deal when it comes to long-term puts and calls. Oh, are you asking me? No, dude, I think it's pretty 50-50. I think it's pretty 50-50. I don't have any data backing that or doing that. Well, they definitely were today. But as far as more money in general now, I think it's pretty 50-50. I mean, my short trades are the exact same as my long trades, except the chart is just upside down. Like I take pretty much the same trades. Short is just an upside down long. Do we think NQ is going to get to new low of day again? With the way it swept, it's going to be pretty hard for NQ to get to new low of day again. And ES is avoiding this demand like the plague. I don't know why it's doing that. I think I might have a perfect trend line on ES now, though. Not really. I'll leave it right here. Those are two pretty bullish candles on the NASDAQ. Honestly, I just kind of want to see ES get to demand and then Q get to new low of day. I think that's just what I'm waiting for to happen. That was a pretty good sell on my short, though. I wanted to continue to hold it to demand. I do want to see NQ get to demand. I think it can totally do it, but it's hard to expect that and to trade with that hypothesis while it's in a falling wedge. It's more of just like I kind of hope it gets there, but the chart's not really speaking to me that that's going to happen. ES looks ready for a drop. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I can see both. It's just such a solid level of support down here, especially with this demand on ES. And there's just so many buyers down here too. Every time we dip into this area, it just rockets out like it's doing right now. Like this is geared for a falling wedge break on the NASDAQ. So I'm thinking it may even do something like this and then maybe come back down. Yeah, ES isn't showing so much bullish spirit though. Yes. Yep. I would love to trade NDX because of the tax advantages, but there's not liquidity in that yet. Yeah, the NDX is the worst spreads of all time. As far as last night, I haven't checked in a while, but yeah, dude, it's like, with SPX, the spreads are like what SPY used to be. Like every 5 cents, like just 5 cent spreads. Like it's nice. Everyone's trading SPX now. SPX used to have bigger spreads, like they used to be 10-cent spreads, but NDX is rough. I'll actually look at it right now. It's just not traded. And NDX is very expensive too. Very expensive. And so I can't really alert it. And just to get, like, if you want to pay $4 a contract, you got to go hella out of the money. And then it's a 50-cent spread. The bid is 450, the ask is 5. Whereas if you SPX, I don't have to go very far out of the money at all. For the January 24th, you don't have to go far out of the money. You just go out of the money one or two strikes and you're there. It's like what SPY used to be. Like seriously. SPX is good. It's good stuff lately. I wish I could trade NDX though. I think it'd be fun, but QQQ is yeah, NDX is just expensive with high spreads. That's a lot of money to nothing. Yeah, you need to get freaking you need it to go 10% just to be even on the trade. Plus you got theta on top of that of 0 days. Yeah, no, thank you. The NDX long-term contracts though, because those might be a lot better. You just have to take a lot less contract because they're a lot more expensive. But let's see we'll just go like March 31st contracts. That was the spread. Holy shit, they're expensive, dude. Oh my gosh. Well, if you want to go, get this. If you want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If you want to go 20 strikes out of the money on puts, 20 strikes out of the money, $400 a contract. Which is that what's that, $40,000 a contract? Okay, buddy. Yeah, it's 40K a contract because 40 bucks is 4K. Wild. Absolutely wild. The spreads might be a lot better though. Let me see, because those are quarterly contracts. Let me see the spreads. No, dude, they're not that much better. If you go that far out of the money for $400 contracts, you're paying a $500 premium. The bid is 405, the ask is 409. You're paying, yeah, $500 spread. Which I mean is a lot less. You only need to go a couple of percent to break even, but still, you're getting robbed. So this turned into kind of a bear pen on NQ. I'm gonna hang out and see where this goes. It'd be cool if it breaks to the downside, but I don't know. ES is kind of starting to look like it's chopping down a bit. It seems like ES wants to bounce once it touches demand. That's what it looks like to me. ES just got to demand, but NQ did not go to low of day, so I think ES is going to go a bit lower. Now NQ could bounce from here, but I don't expect a bounce, a long-term bounce to hold with this kind of low. This is not a proper low of day anymore. It was, not anymore. I can see a bounce before it breaks low a day, but where's low a day on this? 68. Did it get there? ZS looks like it wants to bounce out of demand now. I think you did not get low of day. Did make a lower low though. Is anyone in short right now looking for a low of day? I feel like some people are with how bearish I've been. It's barely missed though. Made a lower low. Like this could bounce. This is set up to bounce pretty good. And then come back down. If this next candle isn't red. Because you did get one lower low and you got ES in demand. But it looks like this candle's actually closing decent. I am, but looking for way more than low a day. That's valid. I would be too. I'd probably be looking for demand. If this falling wedge is going to fail, it should fail hard, right? I think ES low of day is a really good target because ES has a higher low here. That looks pretty good. That looks good. We were correct. Correct in our hypothesis. It sucks. You know, today isn't that it's still a fairly small. I'm one big green trade away from, and not even nearly as big as that last green trade. Just one big-ish green trade away, about 150 ticks. Yeah, I'm 150 ticks away from being green on the day. Um, it's pretty unfortunate, but it is what it is. You guys just banked on shorts. There it is. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail big. That's what we just said. And there's the demand. That's a good sight. That makes me feel so good about that long trade that went to hell. That was in George. Was that? That's beautiful. That is nice. If it's gonna fail, it's gonna fail big. That is gorgeous. Nice stop loss raid. I was figuring that's gonna like I really did not want that to go up. It looked like it was fooling everyone. It was baiting all the retail in long for that falling wedge and it's sweeping lower low. So institutions have liquidity and they can dump it on them. Then huge stop loss rate, boom. And now it can maybe go up because we did sweep ES low of day and demand and all those things. Oh, is that a perfect trend line? Right? Well, that might probably explains why it's going. You know what, dude? I think I'm seeing it too. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, almost. And I mean, it went right back down. That is reversal volume. Yeah, that is reversal volume right there. Wow. I didn't think it was possible for me to get FOMO on shorts. T Crafty, what are you looking for, PT wise? Weren't you looking for 955 just demand, or are you looking for it to break? Oh, you're looking for this. Big PT's 850. I can't say that's likely to happen, dude, but it's a nice PT. I think it's more likely to. I can see it getting to here before bouncing. Maybe not all the way back up, but leveling out for the day. That's really heavy demand there. It's a beautiful drop. Well, congrats if you guys made money on that. Yeah, it was almost a great day. Almost got scammed there, but as that is a reversal candle if I've ever seen one. But that reinforces a good psych if you honor your stop loss. With those trades where you're in it forever, 30 minutes, you know, I was in this trade for, I'm just going to count on NQ because it was NQ's PT that was my trade. Um, I was in that trade for 40 points. I needed to go 43 points. I was in that trade for 41 points to the upside. I needed it to go 43 points, just 2 more points to take profits, but instead instead of going 2 more points up, it dumps 40 points to my break-even stop loss. And I sold a little bit earlier. Those trades are the worst trades psych-wise to stop out of. Absolute the worst. But if you honored your stop loss, look what happens if you didn't. Your account would be gone. And, it's the worst trade, like the worst experiences that will refine you the absolute most, right? And like I said, what I mean by that is pretty much what I just said, right? That stop loss was terrible. But you know what makes it less terrible? You looking back and like, you know what? Because I honored my rules, I still have an account to trade on. Whether it was a small red day, a big one, or a green day, doesn't even matter. That reinforces very good psych. And if you're never able to pull the trigger when you're supposed to, you're never able to let good trades go like those ones, you're never going to be exposed to the opportunity and the chances of looking back and reinforcing good psych by saying, you know what, if I didn't honor my stop loss, it would be a lot worse. So those extremely shitty experiences are simply opportunities for you to level up as a trader. They really are. And that's just how psych reinforcement works. You guys can watch the lesson in the Psych Lessons channel. And yeah, it was painful, but that's why I really wanted it to go down, because I wanted that psych reinforcement, for not just me, but for you guys mostly. And that did it. That is good psych reinforcement right there. That was good. That was tough. And but I'm in a pretty good mood now. So my exit was 64. Feels bad. It's a fine exit, dude. Who cares? But now that we ended on that good psych reinforcement note, and man, that is bearish. Looks like it's going to keep going. I think that's it for me. I wanted to stick in for that reason right there. Even though it was a fairly mild red day, I wanted to stay long. I stayed in this voice for 2 hours and 40 minutes. And the reason I stayed all this extra time is for this. I wanted all you guys to experience a psych reinforcement of stopping out of that trade. So yeah, my payout was already approved. Congratulations, TCG. That is awesome, dude. But all right, for everyone else, that wraps it up today. Unfortunately, ending the week on a red note. Had 2 red days this week, 3 in all of January so far. Unfortunate. Pretty good TA, though. Good TA, just very, very, very unlucky, unfortunately. So it is what it is. At least my options was green today. I will see all of you guys. Probably not going to do trade review today because it's Friday. So I'll see all you guys no matter what at market close for the quiz, $50 giveaway, and then trade sim. And I didn't pay anyone for the giveaway yet yesterday. Nope, never mind. I did. I caught up on that this morning. So I think I have some more DMs to catch up on. Um, but yeah, that wraps up my trading for this week. Good way to end a week from a psych perspective. And hopefully a good psych carries into next week. Before I go, does anyone have any questions, comments, anything like that? Oh, all right, sweet. Well, thanks for hanging out. I will leave you guys with that note. Good luck if you continue trading. Feel free to reach out if you guys need anything. Otherwise, I'll see you Discord people at Market Close for the quiz and trade sim.
On so long.